So, tell me something terrible. Do you need a cup of coffee? You seem rather sleepy over there.
Yeah, I consumed not that much alcohol this weekend and copious amounts of caffeine. And now I'm doing the opposite today, and my body doesn't know how to handle it.
All the alcohol, none of the... Did you have any caffeine today?
I had a Diet Coke.
Ooh, you shouldn't have.
I'm going to wake up with a worse headache tomorrow.
You're going to go to bed with the worst headache tonight.
Probably. I really think that might be my only caffeine intake for the day. That's probably why I didn't accomplish much.
You mowed the lawn.
I did.
You did laundry.
I did.
Anyway, we're back from vacation.
We are.
Hello there.
Did you miss us? It's okay if the answer is no.
It is.
You
could have listened to us other places as we shamelessly plug that Patreon. But if you didn't, we did have listens last week, which we were both surprised by.
Yes.
People listening to random shit. And the back of our camper was shamelessly plugged. God, the gnats. Seriously, there's one. It's like a freaking attack gnat. Seriously, did you see him?
I see him.
Cool.
If there's a loud thunk, guys, it's because Scott flipped the table.
I will be attacked. I'll be fighting this gnat the entire episode. It didn't touch my arm.
Good luck and Godspeed.
Thank you.
So yeah, we put a sticker on the back.
Godspeed.
No. Nope.
We have to have a rock reference.
Every once in a while, right?
Yep.
So
I'm Stanley Goodspeed. Of course you are. Sorry. That's all I got for you.
You got all of your Sean Connery impersonations out?
For now.
Yeah. So we went up north and we put a sticker, in case you don't follow us on the social medias.
Just on Facebook.
Just on Facebook.
We're
very bad at Twitter.
I'm in charge of Twitter, and I didn't tweet.
Failed miserably.
I was on vacation without signal. We had no signal all week.
We didn't. There was one special rock by the fire pit we were shown. That is the rock to
and
sit
by the
at.
bathrooms, but you had to be a creep sitting outside the bathroom.
You really did. Between the shower house and the bathroom.
Yeah.
Not a good spot.
No.
So we put a sticker on the back, hoping that as we travel 4 hours north, people would see it. And we got a ton of downloads the day that we went up, like random smattering of things. And then on the last day, chaos ensued.
The camper had a problem.
The camper is still sitting up north.
It still has a problem. It may be rectified this weekend, or it'll be set ablaze. Yeah. That is yet to be determined. That is something terrible we could tell you about, but I'd rather not. It's very traumatic.
It is. But in the process,
our pop-up has become a permanent up. Well, one quarter of it is erect and will not. It needs to call a doctor. It has been erect for more than 4 hours, and will not come down. So 3/4 of our pop-up is behaving just fine, and 1/4 just
is not.
No,
it's from the storms.
He looks like a 13-year-old boy. He just will not give it up.
Someone give him a binder.
A binder
to hide it.
Oh no, you just wear hoodies.
Oh, hoodies. Yeah. That's the secret.
Yeah, just hands in your pocket. That's what hoodie. I'm pretty sure that's who designed the hoodie.
Probably.
Yeah.
Most clothing were designed by men. Let's be honest.
Right.
That's why we didn't get pockets in our yoga pants or dresses until 2020.
Or your jeans.
Okay. Jeans are a sore subject. There are still not pockets in jeans.
Okay. Not pockets worth anything besides 4 nickels.
Yes. So as we were struggling to put the pop-up down, our dear pastor...
Not putting the pop-up down.
Not putting the pop-up down.
It didn't go down. It's still up. It's covered in tarps under a pavilion. And I have to go up this weekend and either lose a finger or destroy the pop-up. Those are the only... I've watched enough YouTube videos where I've determined those are the two solutions. I ruin it so it never goes up again, but it comes down one more time. Or I lose a finger trying to fix it with primitive tools and not an engineering degree.
Mm-hmm. And for all those who are contact someone that can fix it, we have. They're all booked for busy. Weeks and weeks.
No, the one guy called me back with good reviews. The bad review guy that said they could never get a hold of him hasn't gotten a hold of me.
Okay, well, the good guy, didn't he call you back with advice on how to deal with it too?
I wouldn't call it advice as much as feeling out my thoughts and telling me if that was a good direction to go or not.
All right.
That's as far as he would go.
Well, he's still a professional.
He said, start from the beginning.
Thanks,
I was
sir.
like-
We've done that with 5 other people and our pastor, who used to be a lineman.
He's like, start at the like crank thing. Anyway, nobody
we did
cares.
that.
Nobody
Doesn't matter.
cares.
Either way, we had this
The
pop up,
gnat
and
is
we
on
put.
your cord.
Oh no!
Kill it. Do you see him? He's
No.
on your cord, right
I need
above
new
your
glasses.
right above your words, right above your paper.
There's a foot.
You move. Oh, he moved.
Oh no! So anyway,
I
as we were
should've
trying to
came
put
across
this
the tape.
down,
Nope, I should've
we
came
had this
across.
sticker up for our shameless plugging, and as we were trying to put it down, a quarter of the people in the church that were trying to help us saw the podcast sticker, and now our pastor knows that we have a very inappropriate podcast.
Do you see the gnat?
I do.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure it's not in my mind.
You know, he just talks about how like it's good not to cuss and stuff, and we're over here just dropping all the 4-letter bombs.
Like love and hope.
Sure, let's go with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally not fuck.
Nope,
Nope.
definitely not.
No.
You said this one's short and not
It is
serious,
short.
right?
Yep. Oh shit! I meant to look up a Britney Spears update because my Jamie, had tagged me in something about her lawyer, and I saw like a couple weeks ago about how the court-appointed lawyer was putting in his request for resignation. Anyway, I'm gonna have an update soon. Probably not the next one because it's gonna
The
be
only
long.
update I saw was that she posted topless photos on Instagram.
Good for her.
Good for her. Get it, girl.
Get it, girl. I bet you she has a lot of money and probably paid some good ass money for those titties and probably also worked her ass off to get those boobs nice and perky. Good for her. As someone who has neither of those things, I am jealous.
I still don't follow her on Instagram. Maybe it's time to start.
Yeah.
I feel like she would be popular on TikTok. Anyway, none
Doesn't
of this
matter.
matters. You can tell we have been a week away. We have talked for 8 minutes about absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
A minute of which you're not even going to hear because it's inappropriate. Because that's how Tiff starts every podcast.
Oh, yes.
3/4 of the
life.
podcast. We
I'm
have to cut
really
out the
good at
first minute.
alienating people from me.
No, the first 3/4 of it's just super either A, inside jokes that only her and I think are funny, or B, are inappropriate
Our entire marriage is an inside joke.
and inappropriate. So yeah,
Valid.
no, all that gets cut out for the most part. Sometimes that's the intro, but most of the time,
No.
most of the time that's where I draw the hard line in the sand.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, you don't need to describe those things to people.
Shut up.
Yeah. In less words. Just up. Anyway, will you start with your... How many pages did you write? 9 today?
No, only 2. She's a shorty.
So 45 minutes later. Well,
Yep.
that wasn't as short as you thought it was going to be.
Nope. So we had intended to do one as like
Also,
a beta.
hold on. We did get a 9th subscriber on YouTube, but we are in no shape after what happened yesterday with the camper
No.
to record a visual episode.
Not at all.
So
I haven't washed my hair in
we
5
will
days.
next week. We're planning on doing our first collaboration, whatever.
We were supposed to do it this week and it just didn't
Yes.
happen because on the drive home Sunday we were like, fuck it. And I messaged her and I was like, sorry, we'll get together.
So her friend and patron of the podcast, Murphy.
The one who does my hair.
Yes. With the people we talk about all the time. Murphy, who house sat our house for a week.
Thank you.
And Jamie and Beth, who are our first 2 patrons. We are going to do collaboration podcasts with them where they get to be part of the podcast with us. We are obviously independent and low budget and just doing it ourselves. So we have to figure out schematically and logistically how to make that work. But
No.
we are going to do podcasts with both those people or both those groups of people. And when we do, they will be visual. So this week will not be visual.
No,
Maybe Thursdays will.
we were over it.
Or Fridays will. We'll see how the
Maybe.
week goes. But those ones will be, and that should be the next week or 2, depending on... I got to talk to Jamie and see when he wants to do one.
Okay.
But the Murphy one will be the test run, and then the Jamie one will be with 4 people, which is a whole nother animal to tackle. Mm-hmm. So,
And distance.
if you're an
too.
audio engineer with an hourly rate of $0 an hour, let me know.
Yeah, if you want to help a
Otherwise,
help a friend out, bro.
yeah, I think I can make it work.
Sure.
I just don't know how the audio quality will be.
All right. Have we both?
Everything's so thoroughly plugged, they're going to walk funny tomorrow. No?
No. Guys, now you guys know what my
We did
problem
get
is.
we did get invited horseback riding this week.
No.
And we said, hard no, bub. All right, I'm going to eat a pork rind real quick, which means
Okay.
I'm going to walk 3 feet away because they're so effing crunchy. We're also trying to eat less potato chips. I am, because I'm diabetic.
I'm not.
So
I
switched
stopped
to
caring.
spicy pork rinds to make me a real hillbilly.
Okay, walk away.
No,
and
I'm not even gonna walk away.
no, don't
I'm gonna lean back.
lean back.
Yeah.
Okay. While you're leaning back,
if you
I'll
talk,
introduce the
no one will hear
episode.
me.
So, you had mentioned that. Stop. So you had mentioned a couple of weeks ago,
They're
or maybe
so
even the
crunchy.
last episode. It's been so long. That you wanted to learn about sirens.
Oh yeah, because of the our favorite hot sauce is Siren from Cran Travers Sauce Company.
Yep. I don't know. I really liked the new one, which is I think it might have been Girl Boss, which is like most cringeworthy thing I've ever heard in my life.
No, Boss Babe. You don't like. I think it was Girl Boss, but I think Boss Babe is the one that really.
Hashtag I'm a boss, babe. Bitch, no, you're not. You are like the worst. You are like a low investment, high risk franchise member.
We don't kink shame, and we don't. You do what you want to do.
Okay, I'm just saying, as from a business standpoint,
Well,
you're
yeah.
not a business.
Well, they're not a business. I will agree. But anyway,
They've brainwashed them into thinking
you make
so,
money
though.
if you break even on whatever you want to break even on.
Or lose money on whatever you lose, but you don't know math, so you don't know that.
It's true. And if you need to return bottles out of our garage or our barn, you let me know.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm about to pay someone to take the bottles out of our barn.
Seriously, we tried giving them to high schoolers that need gas money, and it hasn't happened yet.
We drink like 2 12-packs of Vizzies a week. The shit's starting to add up, homie.
It really is.
Like mentally, physically, and bottle return-wise, because we're in the great state of Michigan.
Yeah.
Where it's 10 cents a can.
Yeah, it is.
If you haven't seen that Seinfeld episode, have you ever seen that Seinfeld episode?
Scott, we just had this discussion literally 2 seconds ago. Did you watch Seinfeld? No.
It's Seinfeld. It's not Seinfeld.
It's spelled Seinfeld.
Okay. Well, you argue with the show. Please read. Okay.
Anyway,
It's been
we're going to do
13
this
minutes.
episode on
Please
sirens.
read. Yes, sirens.
Okay.
There's some
So-
sort of water creature.
Are they?
Are
Tell
they?
me what you think a siren looks like.
I don't know what they look like. Okay, here, you want to know the uneducated.
It doesn't matter. I'm educated.
No.
We're
listen,
both
listen,
wrong.
Listen. This is what the guy whose knowledge of that realm, fae or whatever it is, I assume they are like evil mermaids.
I have
That's as far as I
right.
got.
No, I have a fairly higher than normal person.
No, I agree. You're,
Concept of the realm, and I started researching this and
you have a
went.
bracelet full of stones and another bracelet full of amber on right now, and a pendulum on your neck.
And I have an entire tattoo.
of fairy wings. Whatever.
Yeah.
I could go get fairy wings tomorrow. Fairy wings. Oh, I should get a fairy ring. Anyway, proceed.
Anyway, it's that fairy rings have been very prevalent in our life the last few years. So I assumed that sirens, just like probably 90% of the people listening, also assume that sirens are mermaid based. Mm-hmm. We are all wrong.
Oh, good. You
Yep.
should put your glasses back on.
So I can see.
Yeah, you should take your glass off. I
It's
was
my allergies. I had to rub my eyes. They're still struggling.
from being outside for a week.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I am very much an indoor creature.
All right, we're going to stay on track for the next 17 minutes.
Good luck and Godspeed. So
Timestamp it.
anyway, like you said, most people assumed that sirens are mermaids, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
They are not. They are actually a half woman, half bird mythical creature of Greek origin. I know. Right?
Okay.
And the prevailing theory as to why they had evolved from birds to fish is because fish,
So they're like buckbeak.
but with human heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fish are sexier and birds are not. So that's how they've evolved.
Fish are sexier?
Yes.
Or mermaids are sexier?
Yes.
Because in general, fish...
So the original adaptation of the siren was that it was like a bird's body with just a human head from kind of like the décolleté up. So like the upper chest up.
Okay.
And then somewhere along the literal thousands and thousands of years of this depiction, it evolved into like we'll get to it. It evolves from like a fish to a serpent to a mermaid, because the mermaids then take on, so sea nymphs are also a separate fae. And so eventually at some point there was like misillustrations and sort of different descriptions from different authors, and eventually it turned into the mermaid. Okay. But the original legend of the siren started as half bird, half human.
Okay.
So we're going to do some backstory first. Mm-hmm. Sirens are referenced for the first time in Homer's Odyssey.
Dope.
You know the Odyssey, right?
That's just the only Homer thing I got for you.
Yes. But you know the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Please. Okay. I was supposed to say, please tell me you know that much, right?
Whoa.
You just never read. I just needed to make sure.
A lot of people, I've never read it.
I've read pieces of it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like his 10-year Odyssey home from the battle, whatever battle happened.
It's like we're a Cyclops or some shit.
Lots of stuff. Cyclops, Circe, like
But
everything.
there is a Cyclops.
Yes.
See?
On an island.
I know shit.
Yes. You drink and I know things. Game of Thrones over here. So Homer had heard of an isolated island.
We did meet a Ramsay this weekend.
We did. I meant to put in the name of the island, but I left it very, very blank with just a space. I even put named and then didn't fill in the blank. It starts with an A. Doesn't
the
matter.
Island?
Yes, the island
now
name.
I'm being attacked by double gnats, so I might get carried away at some point.
All right. If you hear slamming, I promise he's not beating me. So on this island, the only occupants were these beautiful mythical women that would sing songs that would cause a sailor to jump into the sea and drown in an attempt to get to the sirens.
It's also called karaoke.
Yep. So...
Not funny.
Depends on how drunk you are.
Or how tone deaf you are.
Yes. So, quote from Homer from the Odyssey, "They bewitch any mortal who approaches them. They sit in a meadow. Men's corpses lie heaped up all around them, moldering upon the bones as they sit, as the skin decays."
How many meadows brush up to seas?
Apparently just this one.
On an island.
Just this one.
Okay.
On an unnamed island that starts with an A. We're really bad at pop culture.
Antarctica.
Not Antarctica. So Homer orders his men to stuff wax into their ears so as not to be tempted as they sail past this island.
Fellas, earmuffs.
Mm-hmm. But in turn, he also ordered the men to bind himself to the ship. So all the men have the earwax in the ears, and then Homer...
so he wouldn't jump off?
Yes, and he was like, no, it doesn't matter what I say, never untie me. Do not untie me, because his goal
he needed
was...
a safe word.
Ocelot?
Yeah.
So his... we promise we didn't pull it out of the blue. We did not just give you a peek into our weird lives. It's from a show with Zac Efron.
Yeah, the Planet one. What was it called?
I don't remember. I'm sure there are several people shouting at us right now.
Yeah, if you watch Netflix, Zac Efron.
It's something about Earth or World. It's really good. You have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, they tied him to the ship. He told them, "Don't let me loose no matter what I have to say."
Yep.
His goal was to be the only man to have ever heard the sirens and lived to tell the tale. Mm-hmm. So the ship passes through and no one's dying from the siren songs. No one's jumping in. Mm-hmm. And after they'd gone through and Homer had heard their song, the sirens, devastated, decided that they were going to complete suicide by throwing themselves into the sea.
Oh. Mm-hmm. That's a dark turn.
Yep. I'm really good at that. So in the Odyssey, it never goes into detail with what these creatures looked like. They only mentioned the open fields of wildflowers and the bones of men on their island. And it's assumed because they were kind of a common mythical creature at the time that people just got the gist of it. Mm-hmm. And so all of that wound up leaving open interpretation to like the masses later on. So sirens also existed in the Greek story of the Muses and the goddess.
We are the Muses.
You know I made a reference.
Yeah. Also, we never actually introduced ourselves for the podcast.
Oh, no. Hi, I'm Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Scott.
And you're listening to Tell Me Something Terrible.
And you have been for 20 minutes.
If you guys got here by mistake, we're sorry it took us this long.
We took a week off and we forgot how to podcast.
Clearly.
Because we were professionals before those first 40 episodes were as professional as they come.
Yep. So the sirens...
Are you going to bring up Hercules?
Yes.
Yes.
So the sirens also exist in the Greek story of the Muses and the goddess Persephone. Oh my God, I didn't look this up. I've seen her name spelled so many times. Persephone?
You're showing me because I
right there. You'd think I'd know it. I've read it so many times in my life.
Persephone?
Yes, Persephone. I've never actually heard it said out loud. So Persephone.
I love that you can show me something and I'll say it and you'd be like, yes. And
That's exactly it.
I don't know.
But we're going with you because if you're wrong, I get less flack for it.
Oh, we have a lot of Twitter haters, a lot of trolls.
All the trolls.
Yeah, from our
We have no trolls. We're not that famous.
So
no one gives a shit.
By not that famous, she means not famous.
It's like the show Almost Famous, but not even almost famous.
That was a movie, but okay.
Yeah, movie, whatever. So anyway, she was abducted by Hades.
Persephone.
So the sirens first spent their lives as Persephone's handmaidens, but
it's a siren noise. No, okay. I'll eat another pork rind. Keep going.
But after she was kidnapped, the handmaidens were tasked to find her by Demeter, which was Persephone's. It sounds a lot like my name, so I'm immediately repulsed by it.
Well, why do you think where do you think all these unease came from?
Bad.
I'm just saying, like
unease.
Like the Tiffany.
Oh no, my
Brittany,
name is derived from Theophania, which is a Greek origin that means the manifestation of God.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, Persephone's mother, who was Demeter, she had tasked the handmaidens to try to find her, except it was impossible because Persephone had been taken into the underworld by Hades.
Okay. Like Meg.
So, like what?
Like Meg?
Sure. Yes, we'll go with that. So Demeter had cursed the handmaidens, banishing them to that remote island in the form of half bird, half women, and set to sing the sad song of their mourning of the loss of Persephone. So then Hera, which is Zeus's mom, came along to visit them, offering...
Zeus's mom?
Zeus's mom is Hera. She's the pink one. In the movies, you got Zeus and the chick who's all in pink right at the beginning when Hades comes up to the...
Not his wife.
That's his wife. Zeus's wife. Hera.
Zeus's wife or Zeus's mom?
Zeus's wife.
You just said Zeus's mom.
Sorry. Hercules' mom.
Okay.
Zeus's wife. She's
Yes.
the one in all pink in the movie.
Okay, yeah.
And she's all like, baby. And she tells him to keep the light bolts away from the baby.
Uh-huh.
That
okay.
is
No,
Hera.
that's fine.
Yep.
You just said Zeus's mom.
Sorry. It's Zeus's wife, Hercules' mother.
Okay.
Hera.
Mm-hmm.
Hera's about the sirens. And so she comes along
She hears about them?
Yes, she hears about them, and they come along to visit. She comes along to visit the sirens on their island, and so she offers the challenge to a riff-off with the Muses.
Okay.
Yep, and so the Muses, since they were the goddesses of arts and proclaimers of heroes, like Hercules, they defeated the sirens. And since the sirens were only just mere mortals who had been cursed. So in return, Hera plucked all of the feathers from the sirens, making crowns from those feathers, and then cast them back to their island in humiliation.
That's
Fully bald.
that's intense.
Yep. It's the Greeks. They were all intense. So there are also...
They do love their stories.
They really do. So, did you get it?
No.
Oh, damn it. So there are also different theories as to why they sing their deadly songs. Obs, to ensnare unwitting souls. Ensnare. I spelled it properly. Okay, look, I've had about 7 Vizzies because I'm catching up from the last 6 or 7 days with not a lot of alcohol.
What's the Snape line? Ensnare the senses?
Yes.
Bewitch the senses? Bewitch the mind?
Either way, that's when he calls out Harry. Yeah. Who is trying to be diligent, except Snape's a asshole.
Do you want to fall asleep to Harry Potter tonight?
Yes.
Done.
Miss, what's her name?
What?
What's the podcast?
Miss and Becky reads?
Miss and Becky reads, right in the middle of the pandemic.
She read like the first 3 books. And some reason it's not copyright laws. Like you can listen to it.
It's probably because you give...
Anyway, it's on Spotify, but it's like you're cheating Audible.
Yeah, no, you have to. The Jim Dale ones are.
No, I know, but this one's free, and it's a teacher reading you a book, and it's exactly what you pay for.
I mean, technically, our copies are free.
Yeah, but you have to read them yourself.
No, I meant the Jim Dale ones.
Oh, because they're on CD. Anyway, will you keep going? You're sidetracking.
So anyway,
hardcore.
Apart from.
Tell me how these birds became fish.
Yes. So, apart from ensnaring unwitting sailors and luring them to their death, making them care about nothing in the world other than getting to the source of the music, some also believe that it was just solely to destroy men.
Are you going to bring up The Little Mermaid in this too?
No, but we'll get to The Little Mermaid at some point later on. So, there's another
singing. Sorry.
That was the saddest rendition.
Thank you.
Of Ursula.
I can do a good Sean Connery. Can't do a good Ursula. I don't know what you want. If I could do both, I wouldn't be sitting here doing a podcast with you.
That is very true. You'd be on a Broadway somewhere.
No, I'd be doing voice acting without you.
Also probably on Broadway.
Probably.
Without me.
Yeah, you're tone deaf ass. Just when you drink.
That hurts my... No, okay, I'd had allergies and I had an okay voice, and then my allergies got worse as I got older. And it went from a decent voice to an okay voice. And then I got COVID and it went from an okay voice to, oh bitch, you have one key you can sing in. Don't do anything outside of that.
Everybody had an okay voice until smartphones came around. It ruined everything. Wait, you can record me when I sing? No, please don't.
I got drunk and was singing, and Jamie recorded me, and she's like, your voice sounds great. And I was like, delete it. And she got all sad and deleted it. That was years ago.
That was before all the Rhone.
It was long before the Rhone. So anyway, there's another theory that they sang just because of their loneliness. And since the island was inhabited...
The unnamed island that starts with an A.
Okay, look, I forgot to write it down. I wrote this today. So since they lived in an inhabited island that was unfit for humans, once they lured men in, the sirens' new companions would just wither away to nothing because there was nothing for them to eat on. Eat on, yeah. Men couldn't eat anything.
Or eat.
Yep. They couldn't eat anything, so they just withered away to nothing, so the sirens were just left lonely. So another theory was that the song was an expression of their grief over the loss of Persephone. But no matter the reason that you subscribe to, it's a universal belief that the songs that were sung by the sirens were otherworldly, sad, and hypnotizing.
So initially they were like songbirds, humanized songbirds.
Yes.
And then they became like vicious mermaids.
Yes. So when we'll get to as to why in this next half.
Nope,
so
I'm going to keep making wild speculation.
So other writers also referenced feathers and wings when they described the sirens, drawing inspiration from Egyptian gods and myths. Sirens are...
Is this how dinosaurs ended up without feathers?
That's actual evolution and not because someone drew something wrong, but sure.
Okay.
So sirens are linked to the other world and then eventually to the underworld as carriers of the soul of the dead. And whether these souls were started as beings like the sirens aiding people in crossing over, or the sirens they decided they were just going to kill men specifically to share their eternal fate with.
So they almost had like a Grim Reaper vibe, though.
Yeah, it was very much
Angels of Death kind of thing.
Yes, very much. So in writing from the 9th century, sirens were still being referred to feathered and winged. So this was the 9th century, so like the 800s AC. Which is not after Christ.
It's AD and BC. AC is not a thing.
AD. You're right. AC is not a thing, guys. The alcohol. I've just combined them both.
I understand.
AD, which you looked up once, is Latin and is not after death.
When you say 9th century, I know what you're talking about.
800s.
You don't have to. I'm not that dumb, but thank you.
I'm just kidding. So
we might be in the 21st century.
Might be. We're 100% in the 21st century.
I know, but I just want you to know that I understand.
Okay.
Okay,
you
good.
just said might, and I was like, sir, I'm pretty sure it's a fact, but okay.
I know.
Okay.
I just wanted you to know that I know.
Okay. So they started out by the 9th century. They were definitely being referred to as feathered and winged. But then there was like some illustrations that were happening in sort of like tagged along with stories about them.
Salem Siren Trials soon.
The what?
The Salem Siren Trials?
No, just the witch trials.
Okay.
So this
Why
is
haven't you done those?
because it's a big one, and maybe I'll save it for a deep dive.
You don't have to go into like any. Okay.
Yes, I do. It's fast. I love the Salem witch trials.
I don't know very much about them.
Exactly.
Which is what I'm finding out about most things.
Yeah. So anyway, they were misillustrated. In the 9th century, this is like the first time that they were painted with tails. So this is when it first got crossed over with mermaids. And then in the
Not bird tails, like fish tails?
Fish tails.
Okay.
Yep. So then in the Mesopotamian art era, which was about in 1800 BC, mermaids were also starting to pop up. So at some point over the last between those 800 years,
they got lumped together.
They started to get lumped together. Yep. And then in the Middle Ages came about, both sirens and birds and sirens as mermaids started to emerge more frequently. And then in ancient Greece, sirens were portrayed as women who played musical instruments that just happened to have bird feet and wings. So it was 90% women instead of 10% women.
So women with webbed feet.
Not webbed feet, clawed feet. Yes, and wings.
So when you don't cut your toenails.
Ouch. I cut my toenails frequently. Thank you very much, sir.
If you start filing them down with your fairy wings, you could be considered a siren. I'm just saying.
Fuck right off. No one likes you. So anyway, they were by 400 AC, they were described
AC's not a thing.
AC. You're right. It's not. AD. I don't know why I typed AC.
AC is the thing that kicks on our window
when
it's hot out. No.
After death, which is not the Latin thing that we looked up.
Yep.
What was the Latin thing we looked up? Do you remember?
I don't know.
That was so long ago. So in 400, the years in the century of 400, the 5th century, they were described in one writing as either daemons or dragons.
Daemons.
And then in
dragons? That's fun.
Yeah. So then in the 600s, an etymologist named Isidore of Seville, he's kind of split between the origin of sirens, because that's what etymologists do. They talk about the
etymology.
Yeah, the study of words.
Yeah, I'm aware.
For those of you who don't know, Mr. Smartass over here.
Our dog is snoring. It's very distracting.
I thought I heard that snore. That's
she normally doesn't snore.
You're not here for the snoring part. She sleeps right next to my head when you leave.
Anyway.
So he was split between sirens being part woman with wings and talons, but also he'd noticed that in Arabia, they were snakes with wings.
Whoa, hold on. Do you think this is where the Mothman comes from?
No.
He's like the Siren King?
No.
I feel like we're writing a Stephen King book here.
No. We'll do the Mothman. I also love the Mothman. I love everything creepy.
What if we wrote a book where the Mothman was King of the Sirens? See? Now we're talking.
It's growing on me.
Let's get this think tank going.
Okay.
This podcast came because we once have tried to write a book together. And we're like, we need...
Oh, God, 10 years ago.
We need creative outlets. And then we're like, this is easier.
It is easier.
Books are hard, guys.
You did come up with a good concept, though, a year ago. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
about the world ending, and it got really sad.
I'm really good at think-tanking sad stories,
Yeah.
apparently.
And then you think about it and you're like, oh, that could logistically happen within the next 10 years.
Let's
not
not write a book
do
about
that.
Yeah. We don't want to write based on a future true story.
Yeah. So in the Book of Monsters,
The Monster Book of Monsters?
yes, which was written between like the 7th
Why
and
do we
8th,
not own a copy of the Book of Monsters from the 7th, 8th century?
because it's probably very rare.
I mean, we could get a PDF version.
Doubtful, but okay. So in the Book of Monsters that was written in the 7th to 8th century, it states that the Sirens is a sea girl, of which the head is followed by all kinds of shaggy and scaly tails. So this is like the first mention, like true written mention of them possibly being fish hybrid instead of bird.
Okay.
Yep. So in the 12th century Germany, there is a book that was mistranslated with the words Cyrene replaced by Mermeniu, which is the Middle English
Seems
word
like a hard
for...
typo.
No, that was the Middle English word for mermaid.
Okay.
Yep. So it was just a translation error. So some writers and illustrators decided to mash all three of these concepts, the dragon, snake thing, the bird, and the fish, all into one, which was found in the Northumberland Bestiary, which was written in 1250, where sirens were illustrated as a human fish bird hybrid with webbed feet.
And they breathe fire.
Sure.
No? Okay. I
Let's
just
go
didn't
with
know where
that.
the dragon element was still involved.
The snake part.
Okay.
Yeah. So then Chaucer.
Heard of him.
Yes, we have.
He's a shirtless guy in Knight's Tale.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
So then Chaucer described sirens as mermaids in the 1300s with a translation from some old-ass book that I didn't write the name down of.
He didn't either. It's fine.
It was written. I just didn't. It's in my research. I just didn't write it. So he described sirens as mermaids as well. And then in one of his short tales called Nani Priestess.
Called what?
Doesn't matter. It's all in Middle English.
Okay.
It was one of his short tales in his book of like the 31 whatever tales that you had to learn in Britlit that I almost failed because our teacher was a bitch. He first described mermaids in that as well. And then mermaids were described in Edmund Spenser's Fairy Queen.
We have that.
We do. So he described them as, quote, mermaids making false melodies to tempt heroes.
Did you reference it? Did you go look to see if it was in there?
No. It's in like size 8 font in like a rice paper book. So I was not about to crack her open and look. It's in the second book because there's like 5 or 6 in there. Mm-hmm. It's mentioned in the second book at some point. So he explained that these versions of sirens were the Greek muses that were turned to mermaids as a form of punishment. So
the same ones they rap battled in?
Yes. So it's an amalgamation of like
Pitch Perfect style?
every single thing kind of put into one. And now we have mermaids and sirens, which are synonymous with one another.
Okay.
So other cultures still hang on to the sirens paired with birds, though, like the human siren hybrid.
It would make more sense because birds actually sing.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, fish don't. I mean, I guess.
Whales are whales are mammals.
You don't speak whale.
Nope, they're mammals. They're still not a fish. Yeah, you're right. It does make more sense.
I mean, yeah.
But they're not as pretty. You can't like lay out like in the
Look
sun
at that
bathing.
parrot over there.
She's gorgeous. Everyone says she's beautiful.
She's feathered and she frolics and she sings.
And she tips over sideways
whistles.
and pretends like it never happens.
Yeah. See?
She knows we're talking about
she
her.
She does. She's
over there telling us just how pretty she is.
We need to I need to get one of those, what do you call it, Lavier mics, whatever you call it, and just put it in the bird cage and have her be our third line in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so she could eat it. I know. She'll eat it.
Destroy it in like 5 seconds.
But anyway, then you guys could hear the bird chittering in the background.
So anyway, there is still one modern culture that believes in sirens that are the bird human combo, which is still prevalent in Mother Russia.
Oh, don't they have a bird in their, like...
Flag?
Someone does.
Sure.
Maybe that's Ukraine.
Sure. That's pretty much Russia.
It's similar.
Yep.
Okay.
We're really good at world history, guys.
They still believe in bird sirens.
Yep.
But they don't really have, I guess they have seas. They're just frozen most of the year.
Mm-hmm. They probably have like really horrifying, like predatory birds.
Probably.
Like eagles on steroids.
Falcons.
Also on steroids. They do shots of vodka. They're falcons, that's what they give them. They're like, good morning. Instead of birdseed, they give them vodka.
Yes.
So yeah, now you know about sirens.
Kind of.
Vaguely.
No one got murdered.
No. I mean,
Homer survived.
Homer did survive.
I mean, he survives nuclear meltdowns all the time, so.
Well,
that was the worst joke of the night.
Yes. And a slight callback to the Silkwood showers. Because they based the intro to...
That was like episode 7.
Yeah, that was early on. Yeah, because they based the intro to The Simpsons on the Silkwood showers. Yep.
Do you have sources? I see sources.
Oh, yes. So I have... What are sirens
only
from...
in your state.
Nope.
Just kidding.
So what are sirens from mythology.net, Britannica.com, thank you, good source.
Yeah.
And then the sirens of Greek myth were bird women and not mermaids from Audubon.com, which is the Bird Society, and writing in the margins.weebly.com. So that's for sure a legit source.
And then you could have referenced the book that we have in our house, but you elected not to.
No, it's a very fragile book from the early 1800s. It might be the oldest thing we own besides the house.
Perhaps. I have not chronologically organized our books, but maybe I will now.
I can look it up and see.
You don't have to do that.
Okay.
Anyway, so this was a nice, a fun easement back into the terribleness.
Mm-hmm. The next one is going to be awful. Telling you right
The one
now.
coming out in 3 days?
Yep.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I'm looking forward to that.
You should.
When are we going to record that? Wednesday night? Are we going to be proactive? Thursday night. Thursday night we're going to record that. So listen for that on Friday.
Yeah. Either way, it'll come out on Friday, no matter what day we record it.
And then potentially next Tuesday, we will have a guest for the first time.
Yep.
And if you are a patron and you have interest in being a guest,
hit us up, yo.
Reach out. And if you don't, become a patron, and then that might be an option down the road.
Maybe.
And if not, there's at least 4 bonus episodes there for you to indulge upon, in which I do all the work. And it's terrible, and you can tell.
I struggled through this one. I wrote it very eloquently, and then halfway through sentences, I was like, shit, I wrote this better than this, but I've been drinking.
Oh, when you went to read it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yes.
It's okay. I just kept leaning back and eating pork rinds, so you can tell where our priorities were.
Yep.
It's been a stressful couple days, guys.
Very much so.
We left a pop-up 250 miles away,
yes,
knowing
we did.
I have to go back and get it.
Yep.
It's fine.
That's fine.
I'm not stressed.
Everything's fine. We're
I'm
fine.
not stressed. Yeah, we're good. My shoulders aren't on my ears right now. We're fine. This is why it's not visual.
Did you want my massage that I won at auction this weekend?
No. No,
Okay.
I thought you meant from you, and I was like, yeah, you're going to have to grab my big hammer out of the barn to, knock my shoulders back where they go. Okay. Anyway.
If you've made it this far.
Congratulations.
Very much so.
This is episode 41. We're over the hill.
Guys, this is way too long for a 2-page paper.
That's how we do. It's been a while. We miss these people.
We do. We hope you missed us.
And we should have plenty of episode allowance from our hosting site this month because we took a week off.
We did.
So you're going to get nothing but longies. What?
And I bought a new book, so look out for an actual dedicated semi-series in October that I'm really excited about.
Oh, yeah, because we went on vacation and she was like, I'm going to look for books, for topics, for
books.
podcasts because I'm a loser and I'm committed to the crime. And I was like, or committed to the game.
I would have bought these regardless of if we had a podcast or not.
This is true. No, her dedication is unparalleled. I just sit here eating pork rinds.
It's a cute word for it.
I bought the drinks on my way home from work.
Yeah, you did. Proud of you.
Look at me go, and I cook dinner. So that's what I do around here.
Right. I did laundry and mowed the lawn.
It's true. It's teamwork making the dream work.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, and by dream, I mean we don't get paid to do this, but we have jobs. Also, I have an email.
From what?
I don't know. Do you want me to check it?
Yeah, check it right now. I have a text message.
It's our bank e-statement.
Oh, yay. I have a text message from my cousin out in Cali.
Cool. Anyway, thanks for listening. And we will catch up with you guys again on Friday.
Okay.
All right. Tell all your friends.
Okay.
Only if they're terrible.
Even if they're not, find out if they're terrible.
All your friends
you don't
are
know.
terrible. Yep. And if you see one of our guerrilla marketing business cards out in the streets, I've only been leaving them on a road trip, so they might have got left in a McDonald's. I don't even know where that was. But we had someone listen to the first 2 episodes today, so I'm guessing
it's either a church family, sorry guys, or it's the guerrilla marketing.
Either way, it's working.
Yes.
It's all working.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to our terrible podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at TMSTPod.
And if you'd like to support the show, you can find us on Patreon at Tell Me Something Terrible.
Oof, that was terrible.